So we're finally at the wedding episodes for Love is Blind UK. And in terms of who I thought were going to get married, I thought veering on most likely it would be Barda and Jed. But they were the only couple out of the final four who didn't get married. And honestly, I think it was for good reason. Honestly, I don't think any of these couples were at the point where I thought that they had this undeniable connection that will make for a long lasting marriage. I think there were couples that were stronger than others. But I think overall I wasn't convinced by all of the couples. And I did feel like every single couple could have benefited from more time to make their decision. And ultimately the no came from Barda. It seemed like Jed was going to say yes. And I think it was the right decision, and I'm not surprised that Barda said no. I suspected that them both having dominant personalities was going to cause issues in their relationship. And I literally called it when I said, I bet they're going to get into an argument or there's going to be an issue where they go out to eat and Jed wants to pay the bill, but Barda pays it and he feels emasculated and it's a problem. And sure enough, that's what happened. Jed made a point to tell Barda before they even went out to eat, I just want to make a point, I'm getting the bill, don't fight me on it. They go to the restaurant, the bill comes, Barda asks for it, pays for it. Jed is kind of like, hun, I told you I'm going to be paying the bill today. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it, don't make it a big deal, don't make it hard for the waiter, don't confuse the waiter, I'm just going to pay it, I want to do something nice. And of course, Jed is pissed off. He's saying, oh, he doesn't feel heard. But the reality is, we know he just feels emasculated. He said it himself. I mean, he marketed it as he usually dates yes women, aka submissive women, who are happy to be taken care of. But Barda is giving very much all-rounder, strong, independent woman. Like I said, it's not giving 50-50 with Barda, it's giving she wants to do everything, but Jed also wants to do everything, so they're clashing. I guess they're coming to a compromise of sometimes he pays, sometimes she pays, but now it's kind of like, well, you know, that even bargain of 50-50 dominance. 50-50 dominance. It isn't. Barda's not keeping up her end of the bargain. Now, ultimately, I don't think there should be that big of a deal if Barda did want to do something nice, because at the end of the day, she did want to do something nice. But at the end of the day, the real problem here is Jed's masculinity, and he feels like his masculinity is being threatened here. The fact that he said he pre-warned her before they came out to dinner, he wants to pay the bill, please don't make it an issue. I think he even feels embarrassed for the waiter to come round and for her to be the one paying the bill, publicly facing. And I think Barda clocked that will be an issue moving forward, because it's not coming from a place of I just want to be heard. It's coming from a place of let me be a man, right? And it's coming from a place of rigid gender roles, and that's clearly not something that Barda is comfortable with yet. I don't think Barda is going to get to a point where even in public facing things to save face for Jed, she wants to be seen as submissive, right? Even if they got to a compromise where at home they both do things 50-50, outside she lets Jed pay for things so that he can feel like a man, that's not something that she's comfortable with. Because I think she knows that this is now going to lead into other things, right? When they have kids, when it comes to important decisions in their marriage, is Jed now going to turn around and be like, I feel like I'm not heard, when really he just wants his own way and he wants to lead? I think deep down, Barda knows that they're not compatible, and that there's going to be, if they are going to be with each other, there's just going to have to be a lot of negotiation, right? And I feel like because she only wants to get married once, she's weighing up whether she actually wants to do that, because let's be real, if they're going to get married and they're going to last long term, it's going to be Barda that's making the compromises. It's not going to be Jed. I think Barda knows that Jed is playing the long game of wanting to soften her up and wanting to make her a bit more submissive. I think he's willing to negotiate, maybe on special occasions like his birthday, he will let Barda treat him, but I think for the majority of the relationship, he wants to be at least seen outwardly as the leader. So, in conclusion, I think Barda saying no was the right decision, and I think if this is how she felt so strongly to say no and she's feeling anxious about it, I don't think that they're the right pair for each other, because Barda doesn't want to be a submissive wife, and that's okay. And Jed obviously wants a submissive wife, and he can go find that. He can easily find that. But I think what's happening here is Jed marketed it to Barda that he can compromise, knowing that he wouldn't, and kind of hoping that she would soften up, right? And that's just not the play. That's not the play, and Barda's clocking it. So I don't think it's a match here, and I feel like that's okay. And they should go their separate ways and find what they're looking for. I don't think what they're looking for they will find in each other. And if they do end up having more time to figure things out, like I said, it will end up somebody having to compromise. My bet's on it being Barda and them having an unhappy marriage. But I gotta hear it from you guys. Do you think this is something that can be resolved? Do you think Barda needs to compromise? Do you think Jed needs to compromise? Or do you feel like it's a thing where Jed was hoping that he could turn Barda into a submissive wife and the plan is flopping and he's frustrated? Or do you feel like Barda's doing a bit too much and she should negotiate a bit more? Or do you feel like, yes, if she wants to be a strong, independent woman who does it all, she should be with a partner who allows that? I've got to hear from you guys.